Good evening, hockey fans, and we welcome you to GoValiants.tv's broadcast of Manhattanville College men's hockey. Tonight, the Valiants will take on ECAC-West foe, the Utica College Pioneers. Good evening, folks. Tyson Nagler along with Casey Sherman coming to you live from Playland Ice Casino, located in Rye, New York, home of the Manhattanville College men's and women's ice hockey teams. Game number 2 of this doubleheader at Playland Ice Casino, the women, for the first time in program history, defeating Franklin Pierce earlier today by a score of 2-1. Valiants scoring a shorthanded goal from Kat Riley to come away with the 2-1 victory. And now another big conference matchup, as it's a battle of the first place team and second place teams in the ECAC-West. And speaking of the ECAC-West, let's take a look at the standings. Utica coming in with a record of 7-1. They have 14 points. Right behind them is Manhattanville with 12. Hobart and Nazareth tied for third with 10 coming into the day. Stevenson is 8, Newman with 6, Elmira with 2, and 1 point for Lebanon Valley. So a big conference matchup for the Valiants taking on the Pioneers. The winner controls their destiny and having the privilege to host the ECAC tournament with a victory. Overall series between these two squads, Manhattanville holds a 23-20-5 record. They have lost 10 of their last 12 meetings to the Pioneers. Last time these two teams met up earlier this year, it was a 5-1 victory for the Pioneers. Fitzpatrick with 2 goals, Amarato with 2 assists, Brian Platt the lone goal scorer for Manhattanville. Again, meet both squads a little bit better. First for the Pioneers of Utica, as we take a look at their starters for tonight. They're 12-7 on the year, 7-1 in ECAC play. They started off the year hot. They were 8-0 to start the year, but since then they have lost 7 of their last 11, but have won their last 2 contests. They score on average 4 goals a game on 36 shots, while giving up 3 goals on 30 shots. They score on 22% of their power plays, while killing off 82% of opponents' power plays. Taking a look at the players to watch for tonight for the Pioneers, they're led by junior Roman Amarato. He leads the team in goals with 10, assists with 17, and points with 27. In the win against Manhattanville, as we mentioned, 2 assists. Junior Kevin Valenti, second on team in goals with 9, second in assists with 12, and second in points with 21. And freshman Jared Fitzpatrick, who had 2 goals in the win against Manhattanville earlier this year, third on the team in goals with 7, also has 5 assists and 12 points on the year. And now for Manhattanville, the Valiants 10-8-1 on the year, 6-2 in ECAC play. The Valiants have won their last 2 contests, their first multi-game win streak since November, when they won 4 consecutive games. Manhattanville scores just under 4 goals a game on 31 shots, while giving up 3 goals on 25 shots. The Valiants scoring 17% of their power plays, while killing off 85% of opponents' power plays. Taking a look at the players to watch, the usual group for Manhattanville, with sophomore Matt Lippa leading the way. Leads team in goals with 10, tied for the team lead in points with 17, and has 7 assists as well on the year. Senior Adam Platt tied for second on the team in assists with 9, second on team in goals with 8, and tied for first along with Lippo with 17 points. And Corey Anderson, who's come on as of late here, has 6 points in his last 5 games, third on team in goals with 8, has 15 points and 8 assists on the season. The goalie matchup will feature sophomore versus freshman, as Tyler Fever will take on freshman Patrick Vertanen. Vertanen on the year 7-4, gives up just under 3 goals a game and has a 90% save percentage. Fever on the year 8-6-1, has an 89% save percentage, and gives up 3 goals per contest. So Casey, it's been a pretty crazy day here at Playland Ice Casino. We had a squirrel in Playland that actually got on the ice. It was fortunately during intermission. The fire alarm went off, which was the cause of the delay for tonight's game. Let's see what other crazy magic can happen here at Playland.
Yeah, definitely going to be an interesting matchup here in this one. As you said, a bunch of crazy things have happened today. A big win for the women. A bunch of other things that happen inside the rink that you don't normally see. So we'll see if the Valiants are able to put together something and go along with the theme for today and put together a good showing here against the Pioneers and try to take over that first place spot.
Battle for first place between Manhattanville and Utica. Puck drop just moments away, but first the national anthem as you watch Manhattanville College hockey on GoVines.tv. National anthem played. We're just about to get underway as Manhattanville takes on Utica in this big ECAC-West showdown. A battle of two high-powered offenses coming in, both teams scoring just under 4 goals per game. So, Casey, we could see fireworks on that scoreboard here tonight as well.
Yeah, high-powered offenses for both of these teams. The Valiants with 4 goals last night, 3 goals against Newman. A couple teams that had some pretty strong defenses coming into the game, so this Manhattanville offense has definitely clicked as of late. They've looked extremely sharp, crisp passes, finding the open man and getting some opportunities out of their defensive end. We'll see if they're able to keep it up here again tonight. Utica, like you said, a big question mark coming into the game. They started off hot and really have faltered as of late, so a big win last night for them to stay in first place, bringing us this battle here tonight for the top spot. We'll see which Utica team shows up here at Playland, if it's the one from the beginning of the year and the one that knocked the Valiants out of the postseason last year, or if it's the one as of late. Manhattanville definitely going to have their hands full either way.
Nolan Marshall starts off by winning the faceoff for Manhattanville. Valiants quickly putting this one into the Pioneer end. Big ECAC West matchup for the Valiants. Pioneers quickly get out of their own end, and now here they go into the Manhattanville end for the first time tonight. Fever out of the net to play this one along the boards. Valiants trying to get this one out of the zone, and they will as it's up towards Tanner Hicks's way. Hicks, though, unable to handle that pass. Turned over by the Pioneers, though, and now Manhattanville give it right back. Pioneers now with as a check along the boards. And Casey, we mentioned a bunch of times last night, at times it seemed like Nazareth did take the physicality to Manhattanville. We saw the Valiants struggling at times, so we'll keep an eye out for how physical each team will be.
2 keys tonight in this one is definitely going to be the physicality and the aggression. Who takes the game to the other team, and also time of possession. Not a statistic we keep track of, but definitely one to keep an eye on. See who's able to control the puck, who wins the important faceoffs in the defensive end, and who's able to get out on the offensive attack and make things happen.
Icing called against Utica. So skate back to the Pioneer end for this faceoff. Possession will be controlled by the Pioneers. Valiants, though, picking up the pressure on the forecheck. It's the top offensive line out there for the Valiants with Anderson, Gall, and Lipa. Anderson and Gall, a big offensive night last night as they each had 2 points, a goal, and an assist. And icing will once again be called against the Pioneers for the second consecutive time. This line will stay out on the ice.
Couple early chances here for Manhattanville to get an offensive zone draw win. Set up the attack and try to put some pressure on Vertani early.
This face-off now take place to the right of the freshman netminder. And Utica once again control possession of it. Pioneers trying to get out of the zone. Good job by Manhattanville. to keep it in the Utica end. As the Pioneers will now finally clear this one out, and here comes number 21 for Utica, Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick, a big game against Manhattanville in the 5-1 victory, 2 goals to lead the way for the Pioneers. Up to the point, one-timer opportunity. That one well off the mark by Schmidt. Another shot attempt. Fever able to steer that one away. Carbenas looking to try to find some room to get this puck out of there. Unable to, so he'll turn it over. Pioneers back with it. Skating around. Here's a shot opportunity, but that one off the mark. And this one will skate all the way back to the Utica end where senior defenseman Connor Schmidt's there. Playing to the Manhattanville end, and just before Tyler Fever could touch that puck, it looks like we're going to get an icing call against the Pioneers.
I believe they're going to say it was actually deflected up into the netting. So we're going to have face-off coming out here at center ice.
Good call there, Casey, as that's what it is. So Lapato will take the face-off for Manhattanville. Lapato will win it for the Valiants. Big check there along the boards as the puck's dumped into the Utica end. Nearly 3 minutes gone here in the first period of play. Still no score between Manhattanville and Utica. Valiants keep this one in the zone. Puck played towards the net. And another big check there by Manhattanville. Valiants keeping this one in the zone as they keep up the forecheck pressure. Pioneers looking to try to get this one out. Still kept in the zone by Manhattanville. This one put towards the net, steered away by Virtanen. Back with it are the Pioneers, and they'll finally now get this one out. Only momentarily as Manhattanville go back on the attack. Played in by the Valiants. Berglund dumps this one back into the Utica end. Carter back there to get possession of it. A few more big checks by Manhattanville as the physicality picking up for the Valiants.
This Manhattanville team sure is energized to start the game. A couple big hits, like you said. Really need to pick up the physicality and really wear down this Utica team.
And that was a big key in the victory against Newman, where they held one of the best scoring offenses in the nation to just 1 point. They were physical with the Knights all night as this shot attempt is steered away by Fever after the turnover, but here comes Manhattanville quickly back with it. 2-on-2 opportunity. This shot saved by Virtan. And we'll get a whistle. It looks like we're going to get a penalty coming up as interference will be called. And it will go against Manhattanville. Or excuse me, against Utica on that part. So interference called against the Pioneers. Manhattanville go on the power play for the first time tonight.
That's what we said, bringing the physicality to Utica, creating some opportunities early on, getting the puck in the offensive end, and Utica trying to play from their heels a little bit. They went for the hit after Hicks took that shot. And with that, Manhattanville, the first penalty of the evening is Connor Schmidt gets called for interference.
Lapato take the faceoff for Manhattanville. And the faceoff will be won by the Pioneers. Lapato with it behind the net. Going to play this one around, but it will skate past everyone. It will go all the way to the Manhattanville end. Beaver has it. He'll pass this one off. As Valiants will now regroup behind their own net and look to start the rush. Schmidt called for the interference. Out puts Manhattanville on the power play. Here's a shot attempt for Town with yet another save. Back up top to the point. Over to Hicks. Hicks with it. He'll pass this one off to the side. Valiants now playing this one behind the end line. Now back up top to Ferraro. Ferraro's shot attempt. A lot of traffic in front. Rebound opportunity with Virtanen out of the net, but he's somehow able to corral that puck and halt play.
Somehow Ferraro's shot from the point got through a couple bodies in front, and Virtanen made a great save through traffic, and then somehow was able to control the puck enough to cover up with, like you said, about 4 bodies in front there. Manhattanville trying to push it across the line, just unable to get it in.
Puck drop won by Manhattanville. Here's shot attempt for Vertanen with another save. As Garbenas fired that one in, but Vertanen able to smother that one, and yet again it will be another face-off to the left of the freshman netminder. It's able to win the face-off, but not come up with possession of it. As that puck was put out of play, so the face-off will stay in the Utica zone. It's now the officials currently discussing.
A bit of a break for Manhattanville. They had nobody along the boards on this near side here. Had that clearance gotten past the Valiant forechecker, it would have gone all the way the length of the ice and killed off a good chunk of time on this power play.
And looks like they discussed whether Valiant deflected in. They say they will, so face-off will take place just outside the Utica zone. Anderson to take it for Manhattanville. Anderson will have it, plays it to Garbenas. Now over to Matt Lippa. Lippa with it. Lippa plays this one towards Vertanen. Shot opportunity for the Valiants, unable to get that one to go. Here's another shot for Vertanen with the save. Garbenas back with it. Passes this one along. Back up top to the point to Garbenas. Garbenas, one-timer attempt is wide of the cage. 40 seconds to go in the power play as Manhattanville continues the offensive pressure. Centering pass is off the mark as this one will be deflected out of play by a Utica skater. .32 seconds to go in the Schmidt penalty. Giants with a few opportunities, but so far nothing doing against Vertanen. Face-off controlled by the Valiants. Here's Dinner's shot attempt, but that one blocked before it gets to Vertanen. Played back, here's another shot attempt, once again blocked by the Utica players. Valiants able to keep this one in the zone as Lippa looking for a cross-size pass. Unable to find anyone on that one. Pioneers back with it, trying to play this one along the boards, kept in by Manhattanville. Final 5 seconds to go in the Manhattanville power play, as this one will be tied up along the boards, and that will do it for Manhattanville's first opportunity as Fitzpatrick quickly onto the ice, trying to cancel out the icing, but unable to beat Phil Dinner, so we'll skate back to the Utica end, where it will be another offensive draw for Manhattanville.
Giant power play, sure they look good on that first chance. Good puck movement, a couple shots. Just a good job by the Pioneers of getting in the shooting lane and knocking them down, and Vertanen a couple nice saves as well to keep it scoreless.
Slade to take the face-off. It'll be controlled by the Pioneers. Utica with it, and they'll play this one into the Manhattanville zone. It was deflected by a Valiant. So a big line change for the Pioneers, as they had a few tired skaters out there after killing off that power play for Manhattanville. Pioneers able to momentarily keep this one in, but Valiants bring it back out. Slade plays this one ahead. Big contact at the blue line, and now back into the Manhattanville zone. Here comes Jeff Beck with it. Beck will dump this one in. Brian Platt's there to apply the pressure, but unable to come up with the puck as Corey Anderson and company enter the ice, as this one's dumped back into the Manhattanville end. Fever will have it. He'll play it off to Hicks. Hicks to Phil Dinner. Up the ice, up towards Lippa's way. Lippa trying to get past the defense on that one, but it was Kevin Kurastis that stopped him. Another shot attempt blocked before it gets to Vertanen. Now we're going to get a whistle.
Another interference call coming up here against Utica. Bunch of bodies in front of Vertanen, and just getting too aggressive on that one was Dalton Carter. And Manhattanville back on the power play.
Giants with a few quality opportunities on that power play. Unable to get anything to go. Let's see if they can find the opening goal of the game. Nearly 8 minutes gone here in the first.
Fairly easy night for Tyler Fever so far. No shots for Utica in the first 7.5 minutes.
Puck still loose and will come out to the point. Over to Lipa. Lipa centering pass. A lot of traffic in front, but unable to get a shot on net as this one will be cleared out of the Utica zone. Fever will come out of the net. And he'll pass this one along the boards. Tanner Hicks with it. Hicks passing this one along. Pass though a little bit too far, as now this is going to take a good Utica bounce, and here come the Pioneers for their first shot, but Fever with a save. As that was Amaretto, who was able to record the opening shot of the game for the Pioneers. Played off the boards. Here's Eric Berglund. Berglund looking to try to find an angle against the Utica defense. Instead just lays this one off. Pass behind the net. Now back up top to the point. One-time opportunity off the mark. Back with it are the Valiants. Garbenas has for it. Garbenas will pass this one along. As this one will flame behind the net and around the boards. Now this one cleared out of the zone. So fresh line change for Utica. Giants will bring it out and look to start the rush. Played ahead by Marshall. And this one will go up and hit off the protective netting that surrounds Playland Ice Casino's rink. And face-off will stay in the Utica end. Marshall will take the face-off. Will be controlled by the Valiants, trying to play this one out to the point, but out of the reach of the Manhattanville defenseman. The Valiants forced to retreat in their own end and have one final rush opportunity with 6 seconds to go. Now we'll have a face-off taking place in the Manhattanville end after the icing call. That should most likely probably do for Manhattanville's second power play opportunity. Pioneers going off 2 early penalties here in the first period. This one played back to Borso. Now jump back in as Manhattanville. We'll bring this one out up towards Brian Platt's way. Platt plays this one along into the Utica end. Over along the boards, Fitzpatrick. Shot attempt this one off the mark as it was over Tyler Fever as Valenti tried to put that one on net. Pass over, another shot attempt and a big check there by Jeff Beck after the shot was taken by Lynch. And now Utica, the ones applying the pressure to Manhattanville, but the Valiants able to momentarily get out of the zone but dumped back in by the Pioneers. Valiants try and bring this one out, but turned over. Roberts plays this one into the Manhattanville end. Here's Roberts' shot attempt. Fever able to collect the save. Halfway through the first, so no score between these two high-powered offenses, as it's been the defenses that has played well so far here today. Played up top to Borsuch. One-time opportunity. This one well high of the cage. Kept in the zone by the Pioneers. They'll turn over, and now Manhattanville will bring it out. Anderson playing this one past the defense. Now Matt Lippa looking to try to get around the Pioneers, but unable to, as they'll skate out to Fabian Andark. And now we're going to have a penalty coming up here against Manhattanville as Andark held up the Pioneers skater, so Manhattanville will go on the penalty kill for the first time tonight. Interference will be the call against Manhattanville's Fabian Andark. So first time we get to see the Pioneer power play. 22% on the power play, while Manhattanville's killed off 85% of opponents' power play. Pioneers will have it. Here's Schmidt with it. Schmidt switching positions with Carter. Played now behind the end line. Up top, and now we're going to get a whistle before the shot was taken, as Tyler Fever was taken out by a Utica skater. I'm going to say that he was pushed in by a Manhattanville player, so no penalty against the Pioneers. Possession controlled by the Pioneers. They'll dump this one into the Manhattanville end. 30 seconds gone in the Andark penalty. This shot attempt is saw the whole way by Fever. Manhattanville will clear this one out. Pioneers will now retreat all the way behind their own goal before starting their rush. Pass over to Valencia, turnover. Here's Slade with it. Slade's shot attempt blocked away. Pioneers back with it in the Manhattanville zone. This one's played behind the net. Valiance will clear this one out yet again. 50 seconds to go in Utica's first power play opportunity. Pioneers bring this one out. Dumped into the Manhattanville zone. And Valiance will once again poke this one out with 30 seconds to go.
Diving penalty kill once again looking very strong early on here, not allowing Utica really any opportunities to get something on goal here and really test Tyler Fever.
Played behind the net. Valiance will look to clear this one, and they will successfully. So maybe one more rush attempt for the Pioneers if they hurry, but I don't think they're going to have enough time to convert on this power play. As Vines now back to full strength, and Adam Platt looking to try to bring this one up the ice, but turns it over. Played towards Hicks. Up towards Brian Platt's way, cut off by Boursoy. Puck loose. And now the Pioneers will have it, and they'll clear it out of their zone. Vines will chip this one back in as Dearson is able to play that one. Now Casper Dearson applying the pressure to the Pioneers, but they'll finally get it out and up to Alex Roberts. Anvil back with it. Center ice, but now Utica will win possession back. Vines dump this one back in. Stephen Gall racing for this one, trying to get it, unable to, as the sophomore defenseman's there first for the Pioneers. Over to Hicks. Hicks trying to pass this one through, unable to. And now Manhattanville once again dumping back into the Utica end. Under 5 to go here in the first. Still no score between Manhattanville and Utica. Anderson asking for the puck as he realized Utica was on a line change, but Valiant's unable to get it up to the sophomore. Now Anderson's shot is saved by Vatanen. So big save there by Vatanen on Corey Anderson, as now the Valiants will once again bring this one up the ice. Played in by Berglund. High arching clear by the Pioneers. Here's Tegan Waugh with it. Waugh looking towards Eric Berglund's way. Berglund with it. His pass attempt unable to get a stick on that one was Nolan Marshall. Up to the point. One-timer opportunity. Blocked away. Schmidt back with it, and he'll just dump this one into the Manhattanville end. Full line change for the Pioneers. Manhattanville now getting their skaters on the ice, and they'll look to start the attack. As Platt deflects this one into the Utica end. Puck now played up, and the Pioneers will have it. As it's number 22, Derlag. This one back into the Utica end. As Karastis plays that one. And now we'll get a whistle. It looks like we're going to have a penalty coming up.
Yeah, getting too aggressive on that one was Brian Platt. Went right after one of the Utica defenders with a cross check and right in front of the official, an easy call against Manhattanville. And there's just a little bit of the lack of discipline that this team has had these last few games. That's really given their opposition some opportunities. It's something you cannot do against a team like Utica, who can score very efficiently.
So Utica will go back on the power play. They were unsuccessful in that first time, and one of the big penalty killers for Manhattanville will be forced to sit in the penalty box and hope that his teammates can keep this a scoreless contest. Face-off won by the Pioneers, out to the point. This shot attempt off the mark. Puck now played past the end line, now up top to Schmidt. Schmidt with his shot attempt blocked by Manhattanville, and the Valiants will not be able to clear this one past the zone. And now they're going to say hand pass by the Pioneers.
Yeah, pretty easy call right there. Carter gloved it and just threw it to his linesman, didn't even try to bat it or anything. So face-off will come out to center ice.
Now the official with words to Tanner Hitz and Fitzpatrick. As pucks drop, and it will be Utica back with it. Here's Dalton Carter entering the zone. Carter with it behind the end line. Schmidt asks for it up top. Shot attempt, and now Fever dives on that one as there's a Utica player on the near post with a wide open shot on goal. Don't know if Carter saw him or tried getting that puck to him, but was unable to, and Fever was able to pounce on that one to halt play.
Good recovery there by Tyler Fever. As you said, that puck was right there on the doorstep for the taking, just diving on top of it with the big mitt and covering it up.
Face-off won by Manhattanville as Dinner will look to try to clear this one out of the zone, and he will. It will go the length of the ice all the way to Vertanen. 45 seconds gone in the Brian Platt cross-check penalty. Dumped into the Manhattanville zone towards Valenti, but cleared back out by Manhattanville. Under 2 to go here in the first. Still no score between the Valiants and Pioneers in this battle. For first place, Manhattanville coming in second in the ECAC-West. Utica first place. A win by the Valiants will tie them with Utica as each team will have 14 points on the year. Viants once again able to clear this one length of the ice with 30 seconds to go in Utica's second power play opportunity.
Ton of unselfish play on this Manhattanville team as of late. Dearson getting down on the ice, cutting off the passing lanes, and then Garbenius getting in the shooting lane, giving up the body, and coming away with the block and allowing Manhattanville the clearance to kill off some time on this penalty.
10 seconds go. Manhattanville back with it. They'll clear this one off the boards, and that should do it. As we're under a minute to go here in Manhattanville, back to full strength for the last minute of play. Wow with it, trying to pass this one towards Anderson. That one off the mark. Here comes Valiance with it. Chipped ahead, high into the air. Lipa looking to win possession. Now Anderson will have it. Puck behind the net. That'll be the Pioneers coming out with it. They'll play this one off the boards where Phil Dinner will retreat into his own end and pass off to Tanner Hicks. Final 10 seconds go in the period. Valiance with one final opportunity to get a goal before they head into the locker room. Dinner with it. Dinner looking for a centering pass off the mark, and the final seconds will tick off, and that will do it for the first period of play. So start of the first period, we mentioned that it could be a potential offensive showcase between these two squads, but the defenses stood tall in the first. As we'll head into the locker room for the first time tonight with a scoreless contest. Valiance out shooting Utica 10-3. Both teams able to kill off 2 power plays apiece. So we'll take a quick break here on GoValiance.tv. At the end of the first period of play, Manhattanville and Utica tied at 0. First period of action in the books. 0-0 the score here between Manhattanville and Utica in ECAC-West action. Before we get into the first period stats, let's take a look at what the Manhattanville College other winner teams did today. Earlier today, it was the women's hockey team defeating Franklin Pierce for a big NEHC victory 2-1. Kat Riley scoring the game-winning goal on shorthanded for the Valiants. Women's basketball in conference action fell to Kings 52-48, and men's basketball also fell at Kings by a score of 76-62. But right now, as we mentioned, 0-0 the score between Manhattanville and Utica as we take a look at the stats. Shots so far are the only differential between these two teams, as it's a 10-3 advantage for Manhattanville. All the other stats virtually identical. Both teams with 2 penalties and both teams able to kill off each other's 2 power plays. Face-offs are all tied 9-9. Fever with 3 saves, while Bertanen has 10. Leading the way so far in the shots category for Utica is Carter with 2, and Amarato has the 3rd shot for the Pioneers. Lippa and Anderson each with 2 shots. Ferraro, Garbenas, Brian Platt, Dearson, Gall, Berglund each with a shot as well for Manhattanville. So Casey, we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, expecting it could be an offensive showcase between these two schools, but to start, it was just all defense, as none of the offense is really able to get anything going.
Yeah, a bit of a surprise. As we said, a bunch of high-powered offensive players on both of these teams. We expected a high-scoring matchup, especially with these goaltenders. They're solid, but we still expected some goals to be scored, and so far it's been all defense, like you said. And as shot category, Manhattanville with a big advantage, but much closer in shots attempted than what it first appears. Manhattanville doing a great job defensively and getting in the shooting lanes and blocking shots. 7 blocked shots for Manhattanville in the period. And in shots attempted, it was 17-14 advantage to Manhattanville. So definitely a close game. The stats don't tell the full story, but a very equal matchup so far. And you never would have thought that these two teams would have played to some high-energy, dramatic games last night. A lot of energy in that first period, a lot of big checks, really a physical matchup. These teams definitely playing like they know they have 6 days off before their next contest, leaving nothing out on the ice.
Valiants next weekend will wrap up their 7-game homestand when they welcome Lebanon Valley and Stevenson to Playland Ice Casino. And the Valiants will be on the road from then on out, when they will travel to Hobart, to Elmira, and then they will finish things up at Newman before entering to the ECAC tournament, where this game will determine a lot whether Manhattanville could, with a big win and win out, could be hosting the ECAC tournament from here on out. So a lot of implications in tonight's contest. Both teams back onto the ice. We're about to get underway here. Second period of action from Playland Ice Casino. Ty Snagler and Casey Sherman, glad to bring you today's coverage of Manhattanville College athletics. The women's team with a thrilling 2-1 victory over Franklin Pierce earlier today. Men's team looking to follow suit and defeat the Pioneers and move into a tie with Utica for first place. Anderson and Valenti to take this face-off, and it'll be Valenti with the face-off victory. Both teams switching sides here for the second period of play, as Vines will dump this one back into the Utica zone. Here's Corey Anderson with it. as this one's kept in the Manhattanville zone, but Phil Dinner will be there to control possession of it. And this one will skate all the way into the opposite end of the rink, and there'll be an icing called against Manhattanville.
Not really something you usually see 43 seconds into a period. That puck bouncing as soon as it left Phil Dinner's stick. Usually with fresh ice out there, you would expect to be able to complete a simple pass like that. Unfortunately, it goes the length of the ice, like you said, for an icing call.
Face-off controlled by Manhattanville's Corey Anderson. Anderson's been on a hot streak for the Valiants this season, or in the last few games, as he has 6 points in his last 5 contests, and a big check there as Corey Anderson's stick goes flying into the air as both skaters go tumbling to the ice. Anderson, one that does not shy away from contact. He can score for you, and he can also dish out some big hits for you as well. Pioneers trying to get this one out of the zone, kept in by Andark. Played around to Berglund. Berglund with it, trying to send this one towards the net, taken away by Utica. Back with it with speed are the Pioneers, looking to go for a pass, but that off the mark towards Amarata. Up top to the point. Here's a shot attempt blocked before it gets to Fever. As now it's Utica trying to pick up the offensive pressure here in the early stages of the second period. Up top to the point to Schultz. Finds able to clear this one out of the zone, out of the reach for Karasis. Played back in, one-on-one opportunity, but good hustle there by the Manhattanville defense. As a Utica player was right at the blue line, they're able to connect on that pass, but the Valiants able to get back on defense just in time, and that puck calmly skates to Tyler Fever and Casey. A little bit of a flashback nightmare there, as that's how Utica beat Manhattanville, where they have their offensive player playing at the blue line and just looking for outlet passes, and they're able to score on Fever in overtime for the victory last year to end the Valiant season.
Yeah, that time McVide just hopping over the bench on the line change, and a 2-line pass was right on his stick. Manhattanville lucky that he wasn't able to control it cleanly and get a shot on net, as Fever had a one-on-one situation upcoming, but puck just calmly went right into his glove.
Shot attempts off the mark by Powers. Played out of the zone, and that one will go all the way for Vertanen. And they'll slide this one over to his defenseman. 3 minutes gone here in the second period of play. Still no score. Back with it is Roberts. Roberts looking for a shooting angle, but cut off nicely by the Manhattanville's defense. Back up top to the point. Here's Carter with it. Carter, one-timer opportunity, blocked away. Bryant's back with it. Try and pass this one through center ice, turned over, back with it is Utica, and they'll shoot and score as number 24, Riley Egan, finds the back of the net, beats Fever glove side, and Utica will draw blood first as they're up 1-0, taking advantage of that Manhattanville turnover.
Once again, turnovers in your defensive end are always going to come back to bite you. Utica taking full advantage right there, and now Manhattanville finds themselves playing from behind less than 4 minutes into the second period.
Egan with the goal for Utica as it's a 1-0 lead for the visiting Pioneers. As the puck's finally dropped, won by Corey Anderson. So Valiants for the first time tonight trailing. Looking to try to get back that goal here. And now Utica quickly back on the attack as it's Valenti. Fever comes out of the net, looking to try to play this one. As now Manhattanville trying to play this one out of the zone, finally do. But dumped back in by the Pioneers, and Fever just forced to cover this one up, and now the eventual whistle by the referee. junior forward out of Lakewood, Ohio. Riley Egan gets on the scoreboard for the first time tonight as Utica has a 1-0 lead. 4 minutes gone here in the second period. Face-off played and won by Manhattanville. This official has been very patient on these face-offs, really taking his time dropping that puck. Almost giving no advantage for either skater as they try to time it up. Face-off will stay in the Manhattanville zone. As Vines looking for the equalizer here early in the second period. Will be controlled by Utica, but it'll play it out of the zone, and Schmidt will just be forced to dump it back in. Giants behind their own net, looking to start the rush. Cross-ice pass. Marshall dumps this one in. Tegan Waugh racing for this one to try to keep possession for Manhattanville. Played up towards Brzezinski. Now over to Boursois. Boursois will dump this one in. Now played along. Aaron Paslow taken away once again by the Pioneers, so they'll continue to apply the pressure on the forecheck. Ryan's able to clear this one now and bring it up the ice. Here's shot attempt for Tannen with the save, rebound opportunity, but it will go out to a Utica player, and this one will skate into the Manhattanville end. Vines play it well before the icing. Now back into Utica's end, and we'll get a face-off just outside the Manhattanville side as offside was called.
Yeah, Lopato a little too over-anxious on that one. They had a 2-on-1 upcoming. Tried to take too much advantage and headed into the zone before the puck crossed the blue line.
Face-off controlled by Manhattanville as Lopato is able to beat Egan on the face-off. Now we'll get another stoppage of play. As well, a face-off once again just outside the Manhattanville zone. Same 5 skaters on the ice for Manhattanville. Line change for the Pioneers, though. The Pioneers winning it. Dumped into the Manhattanville zone. 5:30 gone here in the second. Riley Egan with the goal. Has a 1-0 lead for the visiting Pioneers. Adam Platt trying to hustle to cancel out this icing, but unable to beat Dalton Carter, so we'll skate back to the opposite end of the ice, where we'll have a offensive zone draw for the Pioneers. Lopato once again to take this face-off. As this line has been out there for Manhattanville for quite some time now. As the Vines will clear this one, and a fortunate bounce as it goes all the way to Vertanen, so the Vines will get a line change. Stephen Gall quickly onto the ice. Going to play this one ahead, but offsides will be called against Utica after they're able to cause the turnover. Anderson, Lipa, and Gall on the ice for Manhattanville. Actually, now the Vines will make a forward line change as they're going to bring Marshall, Waugh, and Berglund into the contest. Dinner passes this one over to Hicks. Now up to Marshall. Here comes Manhattanville. Nolan Marshall moving towards Eric Berglund's way. Berglund to Marshall. Back up Berglund. Berglund sharing pass. Shot attempt by Tegan Waugh, blocked away. Hicks coming up to try to play that puck, but loses possession of it and dumped back into the Manhattanville end by the Pioneers. And Fever will cover this one up, as there's a Utica skater right in the vicinity. So another offensive zone draw for the Pioneers. So both teams now finally onto the ice. And it'll be Utica winning the draw. Centering pass out front, unable to control that one was Stefan. And a big break for Manhattanville. Stefan was right on the doorstep. As the puck once again behind the net. And now we'll get a whistle as looked like a Valiant skater was on top of the puck. So the faceoff will stay in the Manhattanville end. Giants trying to get something going offensively. They've had troubles getting the puck out of their own zone, as this Utica forecheck has done a good job of pressuring the Manhattanville defense. Giants only able to clear it momentarily out of their zone, but dumped back in by the Pioneers, and now Valiants will look to set up the rush behind their own net. Valiants will get in position and bring it out. Head towards Lippa. Lippa up to goal. Now Anderson taps it along. Pioneers trying to clear it out. Kept in the zone by Manhattanville. But this one will be put out of play. And the faceoff will take place outside of the Utica zone. Slade and Valentia to do battle here in this draw. And it'll be Nigel Slade with the advantage. Dinner dumps this one in. This one cleared out of the zone by the Pioneers. Dinner, though, able to dump it back in to the Utica end. As Retain and battling with a Valiant for the puck, was finally able to get played and then skate back in front of the net.
Penalty coming up here against Utica. Brian Platt was held behind the net. Extra man on the ice for the Valiants.
Valiants looking to take advantage of this extended power play here, as that one will be played out of the zone and Utica finally able to touch it. So Valiants will go back on the power play. So far 0 for 2 tonight with the extra attacker. The first time the Valiants will be on the power play trailing, though, in the contest.
Big 2 minutes coming up for Manhattanville just to get some momentum back in their favor. Even if they don't find the back of the net, they need to create some opportunities and really test Verton in here and try to get something on net and get things back in momentum here on the home ice.
Watch Lopato to maybe, I was going to say, try to win the faceoff to himself. But instead, it's Ferraro who have the puck. His one-timer attempt blocked away. As Lippa fans on that one, it will go out of the zone. Ferraro there to claim it. Played up towards Hicks. And now will be Utica with it in the Manhattanville end, as they'll look to chew up some clock here on the power play for Manhattanville. So they're keeping it tied up along the boards, and now the Pioneers will look to retreat back and play some more defense. Played up to Matt Lippa. Lippa with it. Passing this one cross ice. Now back up top to Ferraro. Ferraro passes this one off to Hicks. Hicks behind the end line. As now a few Valiants join in on the scrum to get the puck that's tied up along the boards. More time taken up here as both teams trying to fight for possession of it. It'll finally be Manhattanville with it, up to Ferraro. Ferraro with it, centering pass. Valiants unable to deflect this one in. Puck still loose. Here's another shot attempt. Unable to get it to go. Puck still loose, and Valiants just able to keep this one in. Big bullet dodge there by the Pioneers.
Good save by Vertanen. Berglund had a deflection go on net. It changed directions just in front of the crease, and he was able to react with the left pad and kick it away.
Giants back with it. They're on their zone. This shot opportunity wide and off the mark. Garbenas keeps this one in as the final seconds tick away from the Manhattanville power play. Back to full strength is Utica, and they'll now go on the attack. Here's Egan back with it. Egan looked for his second point of the game. Pass out front, taken away. Now we'll get a whistle as a hand pass called against Manhattanville. Face-off take place in the Manhattanville zone. Valenti able to win that one back. As this one will go all the way to the Utica end. And there'll be icing called against the Valiants, so we'll skate back to Manhattanville's side for the face-off. Anderson able to win that face-off back. Now played ahead. Valiants trying to send this one towards the net. Valenti comes out and well out of the net to contest that one as Tegan Waugh was right there on the doorstep. Dumped back into the Manhattanville zone. Nine minutes to go here in the second. Giants turn this one back over. Back with his Roberts. Roberts, though, gives it right back to Manhattanville. Now up to Brian Platt. Platt with speed. Here's a shot attempt from Platt. He'll shoot and score!
Brian Platt has got to be the hottest offensive player on this Manhattanville team right now. He's just been able to find the back of the net with regularity as of late. Taking that pass on the right wing and from the right face-off circle, just a bullet to the left post underneath the blocker of Vertanen, and we're all tied up.
Brian Platt with the wicked wrister as he's able to beat the freshman netminder for the goal. 1-1 the score. And like you said, Casey, Brian Platt feeling it here. His second goal in as many nights. Right up to Marshall. One-timer opportunity, and Vertanen will cover this one up and halt play. And now a scrum in front of Vertanen after the whistle. So Brian Platt has tied the game up with the goal. And it looks like we're going to have a penalty coming up here against Utica. As we mentioned, there was contact after the whistle, so Valiants will go back on the power play. That's definitely something head coach Gary Heenan does not want to see, as the Valiants have gotten momentum back on their side after the Platt goal. Now on the power play. Here's a shot attempt by Ferraro. Blocked away before it gets to Virtanen. Played out, and now here comes Utica on the rush. 2-on-2 opportunity. Dumped off towards Schmidt, but that one behind him. As now Kirastis will play this one. Turnover in the Manhattanville zone. Here's another shot attempt. Saved by Fever. A huge save there by Tyler Fever, and nearly another costly turnover by the Valiants.
A great glove save, and then a great job by Matt Lippa to get the puck out of the slot and really limit the rebound chance, because Utica had another player there right on the doorstep trying to put it home. Valiants dodged a big bullet, like you said.
And we saw the Valiants gave up a shorthanded goal last night in their win against Nazareth, as the Valiants were up 4-1, but the Golden Flyers did not go away, scoring 2 third-period goals to cut the deficit to 1, but the Valiants were able to hold on. Face-off won by Utica, and Boursois will play this one all the way over to the Manhattanville end, and Fever will just hold on to this one as there's a Utica player right by him. 46 seconds gone in the penalty call to Derlago. Face-off take place in the Manhattanville end. The official, again, very patient. That one's actually put right on net off the face-off by number 17, Kevin Valenti, looking to try to beat Fever and catch him off guard. Good job by the sophomore netminder coming up with the save. Saw Nigel Slade do that last year against Hobart, where he was able to score off of a face-off. Fever not making the mistake that the Hobart netminder made that night. Valiants on the power play for the next 50 seconds, looking for their first lead of the night. 1-1 the score after the Brian Platt goal. And it looks like we're going to get another penalty coming up against Utica, as the Valiants looking to try to play this one, not realizing they can go on the 5-on-3. Instead, they just get the extra skater out there, so it's been essentially 6-on-4.
6-on-4, now an extended power play opportunity. They're going to have another 2 minutes here.
And Valiants whiff on that one. So with this Manhattanville wide open net opportunity, Valiants trying to punch this one in, but Valenti will eventually cover it up, and now a whistle, and now the penalty coming up to the Pioneers.
Good job by the Valiants of just keeping the puck and keeping the man advantage for as long as possible here.
So Valiants will have a 5-on-3 for the next 8 seconds, and then they'll have a power play for a minute 52. As Boursois will now head to the penalty box for the infraction. And we'll get a whistle before the puck was dropped. Valiants will have it. Centering pass off the mark, and now this one will be cleared out of the zone.
Lippa had a chance there on the rebound, but completely whiffed on the shot attempt. And now our penalty is going to be canceled out as Lippa's called for the slash. So the extended power play is all for naught, as Valiants will be down to 4-on-4 hockey here for the next minute and 49 seconds.
Lippa asking for an exclamation from the official. So Matt Lippa will head to the penalty box. So we'll have 4-on-4 hockey for the next minute 49. And then in a very abbreviated power play for the Pioneers, only 11 seconds worth. So some open ice here for both squads, as the Valiants are able to win this faceoff. Giants play this one out of their zone and now into the Utica zone. 6 minutes to go here in the second. 1-1 the score. Brought up the ice by the Pioneers and dumped into the Manhattanville end. Egan started off the goal scoring here tonight. And then Brian Platt was able to respond for Manhattanville, and that's how we've gotten to this 1-1 standoff between these two squads, a battle for first place. A win for Manhattanville will put a tie with them with the Utica for the top spot in the ECAC as the Pioneers enter the zone. Here's a shot attempt, Fever with the save. And now the net coming loose as one of the Pioneers skaters was driven right into the net by a Manhattanville defender. So faceoff will stay in the Manhattanville end. 51 seconds still, 4-on-4 hockey. And as we mentioned, abbreviated power play for the Pioneers. Faceoff won by the Pioneers. One-timer opportunity. Fever with the save. Back over to Stefan. Pioneers with it. One centering pass out front off the mark. Here's another shot attempt. This one once again steered away by the Valiants. So two quality opportunities for the Pioneers, and now Manhattanville will get out of the zone. They'll look to go on the attack as the Valiants up and ended. No call though by the official. As they're going to say that was a clean hit on Kevin Lopato.
Unfortunately, the Valiants were on the receiving end of that one, but that's just a good old-fashioned clean hip check along the boards, perfectly executed by Utica.
As Lopato went over the defender. And now both teams back to full strength here for the next 4 minutes and 15 seconds as this shot attempt is saved and covered by Fever. And Kevin Lopato, not a small hockey player at all, listed 6'2", 210. So when you can get the big junior forward up into the air like that, you know that's a good hit. Faceoff will stay in the Manhattanville end. Pioneers able to control possession after the faceoff. Brian Platt losing his stick on that one, has to hurry up and hustle to retrieve it as that shot's off the mark. Rebound opportunity blocked away. And now get a whistle as a hand pass is called against Utica. Or actually, they're gonna, looks like check on the net as it came loose. So the faceoff will stay in the Manhattanville end. Giants will have it after the faceoff. Kept in zone though by the Pioneers. So around playing this one off the boards and out. Here's Brian Platt with it. Platt with speed, gonna try to shoot again. Goes glove side, saved by Vertanen. Out of the zone to Jackson. Jackson trying to dump this one back in, broken up. Andark up to Slade. Nigel Slade with it, but we're gonna get a whistle as a delayed offsides called against Manhattanville.
A very delayed offsides call there as Lions were nearly to the faceoff circle when the whistle blew.
Slade and Garasitz with words before they head to the bench. now it looks like the officials are checking on the door that's behind the net. Looks like they got that fixed, so we'll be ready to resume play. A little over 3 minutes to go here in the second. 1-1 the score. Face-off won again by the Pioneers. Back and forth contest between these two ECAC foes. Jackson with it. He'll dump this one into the Utica end. Pioneers back with it. 3-on-3. Passed off now behind the net. Here's another shot attempt. A lot of traffic in front. Rebound opportunity steered away. Back up top to Stefan. Stefan plays this one over to Schmidt. Back with our Pioneers. Here's Stefan with it, trying to put this one past Fever, but his shot is wide of the cage. Trying to go backhander. Once again, that shot off the mark, this time by Powers. So now it's Utica that's picking up the pressure on the offensive end as this puck will be cleared out of the Manhattanville zone. Valiant's having to hurry up and get back on the ice as they have a line change as Utica quickly back in the Manhattanville end, and Fever just wisely covers this one up to get his skaters on the ice. .2:14 to go here in the second. Egan and Brian Platt, the two goal scorers for their respective squads. Still a relatively defensive battle between these two high-powered teams. Both teams scoring just at under 4 goals per game. But so far the defenses have stood tall here tonight. As this puck is put out of play.
Already 64 shots attempted in this game, 37 of them on target. So the offenses are getting their share, but like you said, the defense really stepping up for both teams and limiting the real offensive chances for both squads.
As here's a shot attempt, and Utica will score, and they'll retake the lead after that face-off. Both teams gathering around the puck, trying to get it. Squirts out to a Utica player, and they'll bury it in the back of the net, and Utica back up on top, 2-1 now the score.
Once again, Riley Egan in the slot. The puck went right to him, and just a bullet in the top left corner over the blocker of Fever. His second goal of the game gives Utica the lead once again. That's a big goal. Now 2:06 to play in the period. Manhattanville trying to answer here, get some momentum before they head into the locker room and try to make this a 0-0 game, so to say, for the final period.
2:06 to go here in the second period. Riley Egan with his second goal of the contest. Giants look to respond before they head to the locker room for the final intermission. Bertanen comes out of the net to play that one. Giants trying to keep this one in the zone, unable to, so squirt out. And now this will go into the Manhattanville end where Fever will lay it off for a teammate. Delayed penalty once again against Utica. Giants trying to go on the attack, and now a check after the whistle. And the Utica player not appreciating the extra contact. But needless to say, Manhattanville will be back on the power play as long as no additional penalties are given after the whistle.
And that's big for Manhattanville. After you give up a goal, a chance now to go back on the attack and try to get something going with the extra attacker here in the final minute and 27 seconds. And like we said, try to level this score up before they enter the intermission. Looks like we're going to get just a slash on Utica. And head coach Gary Heenan screaming from the bench, obviously heated about the call. He did not agree at all with that penalty call against Kyle Lahuniz. Either way, Manhattanville on the power play.
So Vines will be on the power play for the remainder of the second period. And then for 33 seconds in the third period to start. Giants with it, played up to Anderson. Anderson checked into the boards. He just dumps this one in. Here's Anderson with it, playing this one along to Lipa. Under a minute to go here, up top to Gall. Cross-size pass, one-timer attempt blocked away by the Pioneers. Pioneers patiently will now play this one down to the Manhattanville end with 45 seconds to go here in the second period. Here comes Manhattanville with it, play it ahead. Giants enter the zone. And now poked back out by the Pioneers.
And a Pioneer player playing without a stick. A defender right in front of the net. All he can do is try to block shots here. As now it's going to be handed off.
Hicks with it. He'll pass this one along. Lopato has it. Lopato back to Hicks. Hicks one-timer attempt saved by Vertanen. Back to Kevin Lopato. Lopato lays this one off. Here's another shot. Tip, they'll shoot and score! A huge goal for Manhattanville with 9 ticks on the clock. As it'll be 2-2 just before the end of the second period.
That's just a case of Utica trying to do too much with 10 seconds left on the clock. Vince Steffen, that stick was on the ice. He handed it off to the defender that lost it. He tried to go out to the blue line and left Lopato wide open in the slot. There was nothing that Vertanen could do except try to cover up and make a save. But Lopato just too good, finds the top shelf, and now we're all tied up. A big mistake by Utica at the end of the period.
A huge goal by the Valiants. As the Valiants are able to get a goal back here just before we head into the break, Matt Lipa, they're going to say, gets credit for the goal. The leading goal scorer for Manhattanville back in the scoring column for the first time in the past few games. As now we have some pushing and shoving before the teams head into the locker room. Referees trying to separate each squad. So a few skaters still on the ice as the official now making his stand and getting both teams into their respective locker rooms, and we'll take a break as well. At the end of 2 periods of play, Manhattanville and Utica tied at 2. Stay tuned for the third period of action here on GoValiants.tv. 2-2 the score here. Third period of action set to get underway here at Playland Ice Casino as Manhattanville takes on Utica in a big ECAC-West showdown between the Valiants and Pioneers. Taking a look at the stats through 2 periods of play. Shots, Manhattanville with a 22-18 edge in the shot, so again a little bit closer there in that second period. Total shots tied up 33 apiece. Manhattanville 1 for 6 on the power play. Utica 0 for 3. Valiants have won 31 faceoffs compared to 19 faceoff wins for the Pioneers. Taking a look at the goal scorers, Riley Egan, the 2 goals for Utica. Matt Lippa and Brian Platt, the sophomores, doing it again as they each have a goal for Manhattanville. Assist, Alex Roberts with the lone assist so far for Utica, and it's Kevin Lapado, Fabian Andark, Jeff Beck, and Tanner Hicks, each with an assist for the Valiants. Both goalies seeing plenty of shots and plenty of action there in that second period. Bertanen with 20 saves on the night, while Tyler Fever has 18 saves through 2 periods of play. So we're just about to get underway here, third period of action as Manhattanville takes on Utica. As we mentioned, a big ECAC-West matchup, first place versus second place, as Utica currently in first place with 14 points. Manhattanville right behind them, sole possession of second place. They have 12 points. Hobart and Nazareth each with 10 coming into the day. So Casey, we mentioned first period, not a whole lot of offense between either squad as the defense has stood tall. We finally saw that offense there in the second period, especially in the latter stages as both teams were able to get on the scoreboard again. 2-2 going into the third period of play.
3 goals in the final 6 minutes of action there in this middle period. It's led to the 2-2 tie, and it all comes down to the final 20 minutes of action here. It's certainly picked up offensively for both teams. Like you said, a lot of chances on both ends of the ice. So it's all going to be coming down to who's able to take advantage of their opportunities the best, who's going to be able to capitalize and finish off every opportunity they have. And that's going to be who walks away in first place here tonight.
Second time today, we're going to go to the final 20 minutes of play tied up. In the women's game, it was 1-1 after 2 periods of play, and the Manhattanville women's team was eventually able to get the win thanks to a Cat Riley shorthanded goal. We'll see if the men's team can find that same magic and come away with the victory and 2 huge points in ECAC play. And the winner, as we mentioned, controls their destiny in the ECAC. If they win out, they will get home ice advantage throughout the ECAC tournament. And with the level of competition in the ECAC, that would be huge. Currently 2 nationally ranked teams in the ECAC. Manhattanville has been receiving votes earlier in the year, and Utica was nationally ranked when they were 8-0 to start the year, but had a rough stretch after their 8-0 start. They've lost 7 of their last 11, but their last 2 contests, they have been victorious. As the Pioneers look to continue their momentum, Manhattanville with their first multi-game win streak since November when they won 4 in a row. Opening faceoff is won by Utica. And it'll be Pioneers with it at center ice. They'll dump this one back into the Manhattanville zone. 2-2 the score. Valiants turned this one over in their own end. Could have been a huge, costly turnover, and Fever able to collect the save as an errant pass there by the Valiants. But a big break for Manhattanville as Fever's able to collect the save on that one early here in the third period. And Casey, there's one of those opportunities you talked about.
First chance of the period there for Utica, and a big save by Tyler Fever. Manhattanville needs to limit those opportunities that Utica has here coming down the stretch, try to avoid these defensive end turnovers.
Once again, the official very patient before he drops this puck on the faceoff, and he's going to actually kick out both players, and now we're going to have two new skaters in for the faceoff. They'll be controlled by the Pioneers. Played now behind the end line. 2-2 the score. 30 seconds gone here in the third period. Boursois with it. Pressured by Adam Platt, and now the Valiants will clear this one out. Played ahead by Jackson. Valiants will now have their first possession in Utica territory here in the third period. As Pioneers will bring this one back out of the Manhattanville zone, and will dump this one in. As Fever will come out of the net, he'll shovel this one along. Valiants looking to try and get this one up towards Jeff Beck's way. Beck, though, unable to handle that pass, but he is able to deflect it in the Utica zone. Played ahead, but turned over. Here's Brian Platt with it. Platt with speed again. Platt, he'll take a shot attempt, saved by Virtanen. Back up top to the point to Ferraro. Now to Garbenas. Garbenas will play this one off the boards. And the puck will now go on top of the net here. So faceoff will stay in the Utica end. And Casey, this fourth line has looked very impressive for Manhattanville as of late. Last night, Brian Platt was the one scoring, and then the win against Newman, that fourth line was big as Slade and Platt each with goals in the win against Newman.
Yeah, total team effort as of late for Manhattanville. There hasn't been one line that really stands out above the rest that they've been looking for to try to create offensive opportunities. It's really all four lines that have stepped up down the stretch here and have really led to the success that they've had.
Ferraro will race back, and he'll have possession for the Valiants. Here comes Manhattanville with it. Pass off the mark. A little bit too far ahead for Stephen Gall. Puck now behind the Valiant net. They'll look to play this one out, but they'll turn it over. Back with it are the Pioneers. Valiants trying to clear this one out of their zone. They will. It was deflected by a Utica player, so no icing. As they'll skate back, and they'll now look to start the rush. Vitale with it. Goes behind the end line, but turns it over. Here's Nolan Marshall. Marshall up to Tegan Waugh. Here's Waugh with it. Waugh looking for some room. Here's a shot attempt by Waugh. Blocked by Virtanen, and he'll cover this one up. Speaking of senior captains Nolan Waugh and Tegan Marshall had the chance to sit down with both of the senior captains and talk to him this week in Manhattanville College's Senior Spotlight Special. You can, of course, check out the interview on GoValiants.com or on GoValiants' YouTube page, as they're this week's Senior Spotlight athletes. Both players talking about the honor of being named captain twice in their careers. Fabian Andark will put this one on net. Here's Marshall with it. Played to Jackson. Jackson plays this one behind the net. Valiants trying to pick up the pressure, cause a turnover, and this one will skate into the Manhattanville end. And now Manhattanville will look to bring this one out. Played ahead by Hicks. And now Utica will have it. Skating out of their own end. Here's Roberts with it, and offsides will be called as the Valiant defense able to poke that one away, so Roberts not clearly having possession, and then brought in after one of his teammates was already past the Manhattanville blue line. Egan to take the face-off against Lapato. And Egan will win this face-off. Dumped in to the Manhattanville zone by the Ohio native. Vines will now bring it out, played off the boards, up towards Dearson's way. Dearson just able to get a stick on that one to cancel out any icing. Now back with it are the Pioneers, and they'll dump this one in the Manhattanville end where Roberts is there. Roberts will have it. He'll try to put this one on net. That shot off the mark. And whistles are going to call offsides against the Pioneers. As Kurasets was unable to keep that one in the zone. Slade to take the face-off for Manhattanville. Looks like the Utica face-off man will be kicked out. And it doesn't matter as the Pioneers still win the face-off, as this one will be dumped into the Manhattanville end by Schmidt. Beaver out to play it. Pioneers trying to clear this one out of their own end. Having trouble getting it past the end line. These Pioneers pick up the forecheck pressure, and now Manhattanville will bring it out. Deflected ahead by the Valiants. Played ahead by Jackson. And now played off the boards, and this one will take a fortunate bounce for the Pioneers as it went right to Tyler Fever, so he's forced to play it.
Would have been an icing call as the Pioneers had that bouncing puck, picked it up in the slot, and tried to just dump it as quickly as possible. But like you said, a fortunate bounce, and it went right to Tyler Fever.
Stephen Gall there trying to win possession for Manhattanville, but it'll be the Pioneers coming out with it. Here comes Fitzpatrick with it. Fitzpatrick with speed. He's going to try to cut into the teeth of Manhattanville defense, but Tyler Fever slams the door shut and gets the save.
Tyler Fever just going straight on his back and sprawling out as far as he can to just cover that puck up underneath him after he made the initial save there. As the Pioneers once again using the speed to get by the Manhattanville defense and create an opportunity.
Both teams with full line changes here as 5 new skaters on for each squad. Face-off will be won by Manhattanville. Wow will play this one. Cross-ice pass up to Dinner. Now played ahead. Pioneers behind their own net, trying to play this one out, and they will, but the Valiants will have possession as Dinner over to Hicks. Hicks dumps this one in, and a turnover there as that one was an odd bounce off the boards, and it bounced right to Manhattanville skater as Berglund put that one on net, but Vertanen has now dumped back into the Valiant zone. 2-2 the score here, with nearly 7 minutes gone here in the third period of play. Big ECAC matchup between these two squads. Both teams coming into the game with a 2-game win streak. As Vertanen will come out of the net to play this one. And now up ahead. And no one able to get a hold of this one for the Pioneers, and we'll skate back into the Pioneer zone for the offensive zone faceoff for the Valiants. Anderson, Lippa, Gall, Andark, and Jackson on the ice for Manhattanville. Anderson able to win this faceoff cleanly. Here's a shot attempt saved by Vertanen. Rebound opportunity. Valiant's the one able to control that rebound as it'll be skated out by the Pioneers, but turned over as Anderson will enter the zone. Anderson centering pass. No one there. Once again, centering pass towards Gall. Gall, though, unable to put a stick on the puck. And now the Pioneers will have it. And they're going to play this one, but once again, that'll be icing as that puck was dumped in before the center line. So we'll skate back into the Utica end for another offensive zone faceoff.
Giants kind of getting away from the puck movement up until that last shift. They really moved the puck well, created some opportunities, got some turnovers, got a couple shots on net. Something that they've used to create these offensive opportunities the last 2 games where they've won here at home, moving the puck effectively well, crisp passing, and it opened up the shooting lanes for them. And they're going to timeout here.
Gary Heenan taking as much time as he could before he could take that timeout, and there's some tired skaters on the ice for the Pioneers. So we'll see what both teams elect to draw up here in this big face-off. 12:54 to go here in the third period. 2-2 the score. Both teams with some quality opportunities here in the third period, but so far nothing showing in the goal scoring category for either squad.
And if you don't think that these two teams respect each other, Gary Heenan, as you said, 12:54, an interesting strategy to take his timeout now. With 13 minutes left, just goes to show how dangerous this Manhattanville offense can be with some tired skaters on the ice. Using that timeout, get fresh legs on the ice, and try to limit this opportunity for Manhattanville.
And the Vines could have made a line change to go against those tired skaters, but head coach Arlen Marshall sticking with his big guns of Matt Lippa, Stephen Gall, and Corey Anderson for his forward line. And there will be those same 3 forwards. Joining them as well will be seniors Phil Dinner and Tanner Hicks. Anderson take the draw for the Valiants. And Anderson will win it back. Hicks trying to play this one on. Shot opportunity off the mark though. Valiants trying to play this one out front, but Vertanen will cover it up and that will halt play. And once again, more pushing, shoving between these two conference rivals after the whistle. So the referees having to get in between both teams, and now looks like they're going to say the faceoff will take place outside the Utica zone. Marshall will take the faceoff for the Valiants. That'll be controlled by Utica. Played ahead and dumped in where Tyler Fever will have it. Played out towards Schmidt. Schmidt's shot is well high of the net. As Fever went to play that one around the boards and went right to Connor Schmidt, and Schmidt looked to put that one on net. But off the mark as now the Valiants will look to enter the zone. Pioneers, though, bring it back. There's Delago with it. And offsides will be called against Utica. So a quick stoppage of play with 12:10 to go here in the third period. Slade and McVeigh to take the face-off. It'll be McVeigh with the face-off victory. Here comes Manhattanville. Brian Platt with speed. Here comes Platt. Platt shot attempt just wide of the net. And this one's going to go all the way back to the Manhattanville end where Marco Ferraro will have it. Ferraro playing this one off the boards. Touched up before could reach the end line. As now the Pioneers will play it in the Manhattanville end where Fever will pass this one along to a teammate.
Not sure if Fever heard the linesman in time. It looked like he was actually going to call icing on that dump in. But Fever coming out of the crease and stopping the puck, and now the Valiants are going to get called for the ice. So it'll be the Valiants now with some tired legs on the ice.
Slade and Platt had already made their way to the bench. They're going to be forced to go back onto the ice, take the face-off. Some confusion. As now it looks like they finally get the right skaters that are on the ice in. That face will be won by Utica, and this shot will go up and out of play as it's deflected out. Now the Vines will get a line change up and in. Egan to square off against Lopato here in the draw. And Lopato will be chased out. So this will bring Adam Platt in to take the face-off. And it'll be won by Egan. Played back, one-timer opportunity, blocked before it could get to the net. As Kurasits tried to put that one in. Here's another shot attempt, but Fleaver will collect the save off of Schmidt. So we'll stay in the Manhattanville end for another defensive zone draw for the Valiants. Lopato will square off against Egan.
Gonna have a penalty upcoming here against Utica right off the face-off. Manhattanville trying to take advantage on the delayed call.
Dearson with his shot attempt is blocked, and now the Valiants will go back on the power play.
The arm of the back official went up immediately on the puck drop. Interference called right on the face-off. Heading back to the box once again, it's going to be Kyle Lajeunesse. Giants opportunity here to take the lead, as you said, for the first time tonight. 11:05 to go here in the final period.
Manhattanville was able to capitalize on their last power play opportunity when Matt Lippo was able to send one home and tie the game at 2 just before the end of the second period. Giants are able to win this one back. Here's Ferraro with it. Ferraro passes this one along. Here's a shot attempt blocked. Pioneers will have it. They'll play this one out, and they'll look to bring it ahead. And now turned over at the blue line. They'll go back into the Utica end, and now cleared where Tanner Hicks will have it. Hicks softly playing that one into the zone, and it's cleared back in by the Pioneers. Turnover by Manhattanville. And once again, a nearly huge mistake by the Valiants as they pass that one right to a Utica player.
Good save by Fever. As you said, shorthanded opportunity for Utica right in the slot. No one around that forward there.
As we approach the halfway mark of the third period, Valiants on the power play. And now a turnover there. Pass off in front, but the pass off the mark, and a big break there for the Valiants yet again.
Big play by Hicks to get a skate on it and knock it away.
Lopato passed this one up to Dearson. Dearson unable to handle that puck. Play along by Garbenas. Giants will play this one behind the net. We're going to pass up front, up top to Garbenas. Garbenas from the point passes this one along. Passed over, shot attempt by Ferraro. That's off the mark, and it will go out of play, and that will bring a stoppage of play.
Better puck movement this time around on the power play for Manhattanville, creating some chances and getting Utica out of position on the defensive end.
Anderson take the face-off for the Valiants. As both players will now reset. Puck dropped. And it will be the Pioneers that will try to clear this one, and they will do so, and it will go all the way into the Manhattanville end with 30 seconds to go in the power play for the Valiants. Manhattanville holds and waits, and now they'll bring this one out. Getting ahead with it. Platt able to keep this one in the zone, but only momentarily, as this one will be shot back down to Tyler Fever. Fever plays this one off. One final rush attempt for Manhattanville if they hurry. Played ahead to Gall. Gall with speed. Here comes the junior, Stephen Gall, looking for his shot angle. His shot attempt off the mark. So another successful penalty kill for Utica, their 6th of the night. Puck played behind the end line as now the Pioneers will look to get their offense going with just a little over 8 minutes to go here in the third period. Bill Dinner will chase this one. He'll pass it off to Tanner Hicks. Hicks plays it ahead, but turned over by Manhattanville. Valiants get it back as Dinner will have it. Dinner up towards Brian Platt's way, but Platt unable to get a stick on that one as there'll be an icing call against the Valiants. Face-off won by the Pioneers. Shot attempt by Carter's deflected away. Puck now tied up along the boards, as they'll now go behind the net to Tanner Hicks. Hicks playing this one along towards Jeff Beck. Now off the boards, up towards Brian Platt's way. Platt, though, unable to get that puck. Back with our other Pioneers. Valiants get a defensive line change as Jackson and Andark come onto the ice. Gall plays this one ahead. Here comes Platt with speed. Platt, though, losing control of that one. It'll go out of the zone. Valiants just forced to dump this one in, and now they'll start the forecheck pressure. Matt Lippa with it. He'll dump it back into the Utica end. Vertanen playing this one for a teammate. Turnover. Gall with it. Played over to Andark. Andark back to Stephen Gall. Gall, his shot attempt. Saved by Vertanen. Utica still with possession now as they'll clear it out of the zone. They'll go right to Ryan Jackson. Jackson entering, but offsides will be called against the Valiants.
Gall tried getting out of the zone and let Jackson come in with some speed into the slot, but just the timing off by just a fraction of a second there.
And it looked like Gall was tied up with one of the Utica defenders as he tried to get back on sides. So fortunate break for the Pioneers. Lopato able to win this face-off ahead, but it goes right to a Utica defenseman. Garbinas to Ferraro. Valiants bat this one into the Utica zone. Garbinas trying to cut this one off as now Lopato will have it. Lopato dumps it back in. Phil Dinner will have it. Dinner over to Garbinas. Back to Phil Dinner. They'll give it right back to Demi Garbinas. Back to Dinner. Dinner, one-timer opportunity saved by Vertanen. Rebound opportunity, another shot saved by Vertanen. Valiants still with it. Garbinas will have it. He'll put this one on net, blocked. Once again, more offensive opportunities for the Valiants, but Vertanen with a big save and a nice block by the Pioneers. Still 2-2 the score as we approach 6 minutes to go here in the third period. Here comes Stefan. He's going to try center pass, but unable to find anyone on that one. Now the Valiants will bring it out. Here comes the big Swede, Eric Berglund. Berglund skating ahead and brings this one to the Utica zone. Valiants with it at the point. Shot attempt by Jackson. Saved by Vertanen. Sticked away by a defenseman for the Pioneers. Valiants pass this one out front. Unable to get it to go as Vertanen with another save.
Same situation like the end of the second period. There's a Utica defender playing without a stick right now. Valiants trying to take advantage, but now a broken twig, and now it's 4-on-4.
One-timer opportunity off the mark. Here's another one-timer blocked by another Utica player, and they'll clear this one out of the zone. They'll get a much-needed line change. 5 new skaters on the ice for the Pioneers. Valiants quickly enter this one to the zone. but they're going to call icing against Manhattanville.
We said at the beginning of the period it's going to come down to whoever's able to capitalize on their opportunities going down the stretch here. Still tied up. Manhattanville, a couple chances there, just unable to get a shot on goal and find the back of the net.
And it looks like head coach Arlen Marshall is going to take his timeout now as the Vines tried to get aggressive on that one, take advantage of the Pioneers on the line change, but unable to connect on that pass, and they had some tired legs out there after that long offensive stretch. So now Arlen Marshall will use his timeout, so either team with a timeout for the next 5 minutes and 2 seconds here in the third period. 2-2 the score between Utica and Manhattanville. Giants have struggled against the Pioneers as of late, losing 10 of their last 12 to Utica, including last year falling to the Pioneers in the ECAC tournament in overtime, which ended Manhattanville's season. So head coach Arlen Marshall draws up the play for Manhattanville, while 16th year head coach Gary Heenan, the longtime Utica mentor, gets his team ready to go for this offensive draw.
Starting to get awfully crowded at the top of the standings here in the ECAC-West. Manhattanville looking to hold on, join Utica for the top spot right now. Hobart looking to join the party as well. They defeated Stevenson tonight, so they move up to 12 points in the conference standings as well, just 2 points behind Utica.
Newman was able to defeat Nazareth as well earlier today. So as of right now, Manhattanville and Hobart are tied for second place, with Nazareth currently fourth. Giants trying to get this one out of the zone, unable to, as it will be kept in by Bourgeois. Pioneers with it. They'll play it behind the end line. A few players going tumbling to the ice. As will be the Pioneers now bring this one behind the net. Up top to Bourgeois. Bourgeois plays this one off the boards. And a big check there, and the arm's going to come up from the officials. It looks like Manhattanville is going to be called for the penalty. A little bit too aggressive there on the check. So Vines will go on the penalty kill for the next 2 minutes, and that will take us down to a little over 2 minutes to go in the third period.
Interference to call against the captain, Nolan Marshall. And that's something we've seen from this Manhattanville team, taking penalties at some inopportune times down the stretch here. 4:07 to play, a big penalty kill coming up, trying to get to that 2-minute mark and get back on the attack here in the final stretch.
So the senior captain in the penalty box for interference. Power play opportunity for the Pioneers. 2-2 the score. Here's a shot attempt as that one trying to redirect it was a Pioneer player as Fitzpatrick unable to get it to go. Back up top, here's another shot blocked before it gets to Tyler Fever, and now cleared out of the zone. Bourgeois with it, he'll dump this one in. And they're going to say that it deflected out of play. So faceoff should take place outside the Manhattanville zone. As it looked like none of the Valiant players deflected that one, as it just took an odd bounce on Bourgeois, and they will say it will be outside the Manhattanville zone. Pioneers with it. They try to dump this one in, but blocked momentarily, and now put in the Manhattanville zone. 1:15 to go in the Nolan Marshall penalties. This one will be cleared the length of the ice. 3:15 to go in the third period. 2-2 the score. Pioneers will bring this one out. Played up towards Carter. But we're going to get a whistle as offsides will be called against Utica. Valenti against Slade here in the face-off. And it'll be Valenti who will win it back to Boursois. Dumped in where McVeigh will have it. Base getting around, a hard check there by the Valiants. Up top, Boursois, his shot attempt blocked by Manhattanville's Nigel Slade and cleared out of the zone. Valiants will clear this one once again the length of the ice with under 30 seconds to go in the power play for the Pioneers. Here comes Utica with it. One final rush attempt. Up ahead as Easton Powers was there, but Fever will come and play this one. That pass was just a little bit too far for Powers. And once again cleared the length of the ice, and that will do it for the penalty. 2 minutes to go here in the third period. 2-2 the score. Battle between first and second place teams in the ECAC. Pass off the boards towards Powers. And Dark will skate play this one off the boards as it will go all the way out to Schmidt. Schmidt with it, trying to play this one ahead. It'll bounce off of a Valiant defender. Now headed, here comes Manhattanville. Anderson dumps this one in. Schultz will play it out. And Utica back with it. They'll enter the zone with speed. Utica with there's a shot attempt. Fever with the save, and he'll cover this one up with 1:20 to go.
Good job there by Tyler Fever, standing tall again. And Moritto coming down with speed, once again getting by the Valiant defense and holding off the defenders for an opportunity. Every mistake becomes magnified here in the final 80 seconds of play.
As I mentioned, both teams without their timeouts, as both of them took them after icing calls, so it's up to the players to figure it out on the fly. Played ahead. Giants with it. And it'll be turned over as Utica will now have it back as we approach 1 minute to go here in the third period. Played ahead to Roberts. Dumped off. Here's a shot attempt. Fever with a huge save. 57 seconds to go, and Tyler Fever collects a huge save to keep it tied. Lapato to take the draw for Manhattanville. Face off one to Schmidt. Schmidt gets head, centering pass blocked away. 50 seconds now to go. Here comes Manhattanville with it. There's a one-timer opportunity as Bertanen collects the save, but they're going to say offsides before the shot. As Platt put that one on net, it looks like Corey Anderson might have had a step on Platt as he was offsides before the puck entered. Anderson able to win the face-off to Garbenas. Now dumped in is that one right at the face of Vertanen. He's able to snag that one out of the air and drop it down for one of his players. Dumped back in by Garbenas, or excuse me, by Gall. Gall able to keep this one in the zone, looking towards Lipa's way. Now played out of the zone with 15 seconds to go. Valiants will dump this one in. The Valiants get a turnover. They might have one final opportunity to end this before we head to overtime. 5 seconds to go. Valiants centering pass up front. No one there though. Valiants still with time, but now the clock will finally hit 0 and we're going to overtime. So already an exciting day here at Playland Ice Casino, and the day's not over, as we'll be heading to 5 extra minutes of hockey between Utica and Manhattanville. As the Valiants and Pioneers unable to score there in that third 20 minutes of play, as we'll head to a sudden death overtime period. As we mentioned, it's 1 5-minute period. First goal wins. If no one scores after the 5 minutes, then it'll be considered a tie. Valiants tied earlier this season. And Utica 12-7 on the year, yet to end a game in a tie. So Casey, it's been a fun day so far, and no better way to end the day with the overtime period between Manhattanville and Utica.
Yeah, might as well get some free hockey. We've been here all day. Let's not stay a little bit longer. A great game here between these two teams, a huge matchup. And both teams looking to pick up at least a point here in the standings and keep their current positions. For Manhattanville, you definitely got to be careful here. You want to be aggressive. 2 points would be huge. Tie yourself with Utica, but you definitely do not want to come away with a loss here in this one. Any point would be huge for them right now. As we said, Hobart came away with a win earlier today, so they're currently tied for second. So any point could make a big difference down the road if we're talking about home ice advantage in the playoffs.
The Valiants schedule, as we mentioned, their final 2 home games of the regular season coming up next weekend when they welcome Lebanon Valley and Stevenson to Playland Ice Casino. The Stevenson game will be Alumni Day and Senior Day. And then the Valiants will be on the road for their final 3 regular season games at Hobart, at Elmira, and at Newman. So not an easy end to the regular season. Then ECAC tournament will start on February 22nd.
Yeah, circle your calendars for that February 10th and February 17th game on the road against Hobart and Newman. Valiants already beat both those squads when they were nationally ranked this year. There are going to be 2 huge matchups down the line at the end of the season.
First face-off of the overtime period controlled by Manhattanville. Valiants quickly bring this one into the Utica zone. First goal of this 5-minute period wins. If no one scores, it's considered a tie. And then each team will pick up a point, but obviously each team wanting to be a little bit greedy and get that all-important second point. Valenti with it. He'll enter the zone. He'll look to shoot this one. That one blocked away by Phil Dinner.
Manhattanville's only gone to overtime 1 time this year. It was here at Playland Ice Casino, and they came away with a tie. A couple costly penalties hurt them in the overtime period, trying to avoid the same mistake today.
As this one's played towards Fever, and he'll just cover that one up and help play. 44 seconds gone in the overtime period. Still 5-on-5 hockey, not like NHL rules where they have 3-on-3. And as I mentioned, after the 5-minute period, if no one scores, it will end in a tie. No shootout in the regular season. Big face-off here in the Manhattanville end. And it'll be controlled by the Valiants. Cleared out. As the Pioneers skate back to their own end. Here's Nigel Slade with it. Slade, though, unable to handle that puck. Still trying to get a grip on it, but now just plays it into the Utica end. As Garbinius will touch this one up, and icing called against the Pioneers. And Casey, icings are going to be huge calls here in the overtime period.
Yeah, definitely big calls. 3:49, big long shift for this Pioneer group that's on the ice right now. Manhattanville with 5 new skaters coming off the bench. Big face-off coming up here for Kevin Lopato.
And Stephen Gall, who generally is with Anderson and Lipa, on the ice with Lopato. And Lipa as well on the ice with Lopato. So head coach Arlen Marshall shifting up the lines. As here's a great opportunity for the Valiants. A collision between Gall and Vertanen. As that puck was right on the doorstep, Gall was unable to get a good shot. a stoppage of play after the collision. Marshall to take the draw. Will be controlled by Utica. Played up and out of the zone. Tanner Hicks will look to play this one ahead, turned over though. A Utica player still off sides as he will finally hustle back past the blue line as now the Valiants will escape behind their own net and look to start the rush. Hicks passes this one along. Valiants enter the zone. Big check there as Manhattanville enters the zone, and that will cause the turnover. Pioneers back with it. They look to play this one ahead. Poked away by Anderson, and Anderson will dump this one in, but icing will be called. Fortunate though for the Valiants, a fresh forward line there as they're able to get 4 out of the 5 skaters off the ice. So no real harm done in that icing call. McVeigh and Anderson on the faceoff. It'll be the Valiants controlling it. Played ahead up towards Anderson. Anderson dumps this one in. Lippa right there to apply the check. Puck in the corner. Coming out with it are the Pioneers. They'll play this one ahead and dumped into the Manhattanville end. Pioneers hop back on sides and will now apply the forecheck pressure with 2:10 to go here in the overtime period. Here comes Utica back with it. 3-on-3 opportunity, unable to get anything on net. Starting pass out front. Fever with the save. Rebound opportunity, unable to get it to go. Pioneers with a huge opportunity. Platt will kick this one along. 2-on-1 for the Valiants, trying to get this one over to, I believe, Adam Platt, but unable to get that pass to connect. Minute 30 to go here in overtime. Pioneers are in the zone. Here's a shot attempt. Fever with the save. Rebound opportunity. Unable to get that one in on a wide open net. Here's a one-timer. Fever with the save.
Pioneers picking it up. Manhattanville needs a stop here.
That shot off the mark, and it will hit off the protective netting out of play. Numerous opportunities for the Pioneers, unable to get one to go. Fever with a few nice saves, but some wide open nets, but unable to put a stick on the puck.
Back on the ice for the Valiants, it's going to be Marshall, Waugh, and Garbenius. And Marshall and Waugh had a little bit of a down year so far this season, but multiple times last season finding the game winner late in the game or in overtime here at Playland. We'll see if the captains are able to put something together here on this shift.
Berglund dumps this one in. Tegan Waugh there to cause that turnover kick to Long. Under a minute to go here in overtime. Valiants with it, up to Phil Dinner. Dinner passes this one off. Berglund tripped up, no call though by the officials. Utica back with it. They'll bring this one into the Manhattanville zone. It's Durlago. Durlago's pass attempt off the mark. Pioneers behind the net. Here's another shot attempt. Fever with the save. Vines trying to clear this one out. Unable to. Still with it are the Pioneers. They'll try to put this one on net. Fever with the save. Rebound opportunity. And another big save by the Valiants.
Flash in the leather. Big glove save by Fever, but now it doesn't matter.
Fever with numerous saves here in the last few minutes of overtime. But you give a team like the Pioneers as many opportunities as the Valiants have, they'll eventually make you pay. And with 21 ticks to go in overtime, it'll be Utica coming away with the 3-2 victory over Manhattanville, a heartbreaking defeat for the Valiants.
Tough pill to swallow. They fell to Utica last year in the ECAC semifinals here at Playland in overtime. Another tough one here tonight, just when they look to be having momentum going back in their favor.
Dralago with the game-winning goal for the Pioneers. They've now won 3 in a row as Utica will stay in sole possession of first place. A big victory for the Pioneers as they look to right the ship after dropping 7 of their last 11 contests. And a heartbreaking defeat for Manhattanville as their 2-game win streak is snapped. They'll now be tied for second place with Hobart in the ECAC play. Valiants dropped to 10-9-1 overall. They're now 6-3 in the ECAC, while Utica moves to 13-7 overall, 8-1 in ECAC play. As we take a look at the final stats here tonight, Utica able to outshoot Manhattanville despite starting off the game trailing 10-3 in the shot category. They end up outshooting Manhattanville 32-31. Giants go 1 for 7 on the power play, while Utica goes 0 for 4. Faceoffs, Manhattanville winning 44 faceoffs, 37 faceoff wins for Utica, 18 block shots for the Valiants, 16 for the Pioneers. Riley Egan leading the way on the goal category, scoring 2 goals for Utica, and Justin Dralago getting the game-winning goal. Brian Platt and Matt Lippa with the 2 goals for the Valiants. Assists coming from Dalton Carter, Alex Roberts, and Mikhail Brzezinski for Utica, Lopato, Andark, Hicks, and Beck, all with assists for the Valiants. Tyler Fever on the night, he'll get the loss. He moves to 8-7-1 overall. He was able to record 29 saves in the defeat, while Utica's Virtanen will get the win. Virtanen moves to 8-4 on the year, as Virtanen was able to stop 29 of Manhattanville's 31 shots. So a tough loss for the Valiants as they fall to Utica 3-2 in overtime. Manhattanville will be back in action next Friday night when they welcome Lebanon Valley for an ECAC-West showdown, and then Stevenson will come in for their final home game of the regular season, as the Valiants will look to try to get the weekend sweep in their final home weekend of the regular season. So that'll do it for GoValiants.tv's broadcast of Manhattanville College men's hockey. We thank you for tuning in today for both the women's and men's hockey games tonight. You can check out all the recaps, stats, and highlight video of the women's game on GoValiants.com. For Casey Shermick, this is Tyson Egler as Utica defeats Manhattanville 3-2 in ECAC-West play.